A lot of rocks here. Just to appreciate rocks.
Yeah.
Guys, just just Lavani 2, that will be Lavani 2. Okay, good morning to good morning everybody. My name is Andrea, and today in this conversation we're gonna discuss a little bit about Brazil again and again and again. I have here very interesting people, Brazilian, nice guys, Brazilian guys, to discuss the future of Brazil. Saulo, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes. Hi, guys. My name is Saulo. I'm from Belo Horizonte. I'm 43 years old. I'm accountant. Uh, I'm here in Talk and Talk to improve more my skill in English. My free time nowadays, I am focused more in study more language like English. Uh, I like a lot to listen podcasts, listen YouTube videos, but speaking here in Talk and Talk is my first experience. Uh, I never, sorry guys, I never had a speak with people before. Here in Talk and Talk is my first experience. Then I am like a lot, and I hope that and hope to learn more about the topic today. Thank you, Endel.
No problem. Be welcome, and you will learn a lot about this topic. We will learn together, actually. Uh, so, what is the other language are you learning?
Uh,
Or only
most
English or other?
only
I
English nowadays.
uh, good. So thanks a lot, Ricardo. Your turn.
Ah, hello. Uh, nice day. Finally Friday. I hope that
Friday, Friday.
it will be great for everyone. Well, my name is Ricardo, as I told, and I live at São Vicente for the city of Brazil. I'm married. I have a daughter. I work on a telecommunications company. Well, nowadays every people use IT, but yeah, it's a, for me it's a telecommunications company. Well, I love watch movies, series not so much, but I watch too. And the well opportunities to enjoy a free time with my friends and family. That's the best thing on this life. That's it.
Nice, very nice. Thanks a lot, Ricardo. And the last but not least, we have other guests here that is about to come. Good morning, Danilo. How are you?
Morning, morning,
And
morning, and I'm fine, and you?
morning. Good as well. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, of course. Danilo. I'm 41. Um, I have three kids. My my hobbies are um, watching TV, listen to music, going out with friends, work out with my kids, and I like to be here because I can learn day by day and make a great friends. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. So today we're gonna discuss a little bit about exchange learning, okay? But focused on Brazil. Now we start with some questions here, and then we can exchange. But in your opinion, guys, what can Brazil teach other countries about education and what Brazil can learn from other countries about education. You can say about formal education, at school, but also education in terms of treatment and something like that. Feel free to choose. Let's start with Ricardo. Ricardo, you can answer this question.
About my education, I'm sorry, I didn't understand that at the beginning.
What Brazil can learn from other country about education or can
Oh,
teach? Yeah.
well, teaching not so much, but learning, I don't know, a lot of things. Unfortunately, Brazil in the PISA list, né, Brazil used to keep at the last three or last four, I don't know. So, and this situation occurred since a long time ago. Brazil, um, I remember when I was just a kid, uh, exist people analphabet, or so people don't know how to read. And nowadays is Harry. Hardly you could find a person that don't read. And well, you could study uh, at a school in, I believe that all parts of our country, but the quality of the education is not good. Brazil needed to improve a lot. Uh, and I watch a news kind of documentary in the around 68. All of the countries of South America started to implement the entire shift on school. I'm not sure if the exact word is shift, but
Mhm.
in the Brazil continue 4 hours or 5 hours, and yeah, there are kids that teach entire day at the school, but is just some people. I believe that is if you the kids start uh, learning in entire turn, maybe you could improve a little bit. And after that, besides that, at the PISA list, according to surveys and other stuffs, Brazilians don't know basic conditions to make counts in the understand a simple text. So in this case, it's sad. Sad. For example, you could follow the example from South Korea, or I don't know, a lot of countries. Brazil could choose just one, and this certainly is, could be better if you compare Brazil.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah. You said a lot of things that we can think a little bit, but when you choose countries like South Korea or Japan or China, I think it's hard because it's more than only education. It's about culture, right? Like they have a very different approach to have education, very different. The Eastern way of teaching, right? They have been a lot of technical business, but of course we can choose only a country, different country, and use the same approach, right? Like France or England or the Western approach, right? Very general, Canada, and so on. Yeah, this is said. I like to stop because it's something that I've been reading a lot, and it's sad for me because I work on education. as education, as advisor. So for me, it's interesting to know what the people think about it. Thanks for sharing, Ricardo. Let's see. Saul, what do you think Brazil can learn from other countries, and what do you think Brazil can teach if we think we can teach something?
Yes, I agree with Ricardo. We need more learn than teach. I like Brazil have good examples, but I think we need learn about more process, about more practices like to valuing the work of teachers, for example. Recently, I read research. I, I don't remember more the source, but this research said that between 60 or in 70% of the teachers in Brazil have some mental disease, like stress, like depression, uh,
Oh,
result of the overload of the work because this teacher don't have support of the government. Uh, Most part of their work is built for them uh, without technology to help, uh, and this cause overload of work for this teacher. And I think other others countries, like Ricardo said, South Korea, for example, uh, have good examples to evaluate the teacher, like a salary, like a better condition of work environment, conditions to help this teacher, uh, and I think that we need to learn a lot still yet with these countries. As in my opinion, that is it. Value, value to valuing the teachers and improve more the environment conditions to develop a good work. I think that is it.
perfect. Yeah, actually, you brought a very, very, very good point. That is about this overload of professor teacher. Because here in Brazil, we have a kind of education that's very emotionally involved, right? And as I know in other countries, sometimes they are workers, not workers, right? Like I'm doing my work, and you need to respect me as a professional. And here in Brazil, we have this culture of the good father or mother, the professor, very, emotional, because I'm teaching you, and, it's kind of something that can be good, in my opinion, but can be terrible, because of course we create this necessity of being, help everyone. It's like something that can mess the work, being objective. And sometimes I think sometimes in our education, we need to be more practical and effective. Not only, oh, I'm hugging everybody and so on, but let's be straight to the point. And in our culture, Brazilian culture, I consider that it's hard because we are warming. We like this approach, like, oh, because you're my friend, we are close and so on. And the professor and teacher are close of every student, all the students. So very good point. Yeah, I need to reflect on because actually this thing that you brought, interesting.
Sorry to cut you, but
No problem.
what you said is exactly. I think, like you said, this emotional involved, like the families of these children, of these
Exactly. And
students.
a lot of students. And
Yes,
create the demands and physical, psychological, and emotional demands of the person. So, you try to be tired because you need to, yeah, they're very, very interesting this point. I never think about it. Thanks for sharing, Sal. Danilo, what's your point? What do you think about it? What
Difficult,
Brazil can teach or learn?
I'm not in your reality, but I think every country should learn with others and try to improve their education system. In my case, in my country, we have to improve, you know, more, and we have to collaborate with all other education system that are in the next higher level. We every public school here and private schools, they have the same problem. When kids start studying in one school, it's quite difficult to find, besides the learning process, it's difficult to find the the first need, if you stay there for from 8 o'clock to, for example, uh, to 12, it's important to have to give something to the kids, like a food, like a milk, like a bread, for example. It's something that it's difficult to find here, especially in public school. They only are worrying about the education process. They are not going they are not uh, they are not worrying about the men, you know, and these things, I think, in my opinion, we should also improve, you know, get the right examples. There are many good schools that are, role model in this case, and we should also follow, uh, for example, there are countries that use intelligent artificial intelligence, to support all the studies during the lesson.
Mhm.
You have the teacher with support of artificial intelligence, in every lesson. That this feedback between kids. Uh, Kids and the teacher, it's wonderful when you have everything in your mind. You have notebooks, you have chalk, you have a blackboard, and you have the support of the technology is in your side. When you use technology in learning process, it's gonna be easy for them, to get a fast process of education. The learning process is gonna be easy for them, and I think you know all these things together, if you take the food that is necessary in every school, if you take the materials, technology, artificial intelligence, and all that basis, I think we uh, we all have to improve. We all have to improve, and we all have to get the good example from the foreign countries.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. You very interesting because sometimes, for example, we don't have the basic, right? Like some students go to the school only to have food, for example. They don't have, access to the structure to have a good acquisition of education and so on. Yeah, this is yeah, because for example, we are here, please, talking about Brazil education, but we also are talking about the inequality. And education in Brazil reflects the inequality, social inequality in Brazil. right? Like, for example, I came from public school my whole life and was terrible. But I had a structure, a familiar structure to, have at least a very poor background, but I had this background, right? My family supporting, and I had the structure to move forward. Even studying in a public school my whole life, so I had this basic. But I had a lot of friends, I have a lot of friends actually, that they hadn't the basic, right? So I nowadays I can imagine how terrible it was, you know. I go to the school without the basic, meaning, terrible because it's it don't make sense actually. But you you don't know, you don't have at least food to eat, and you go to the school to spend energy to learn more, and spend energy if you don't have energy, right? If you don't do not sleep well, if you do not eat well, if you do not have as well. Good, guys. Good, good. I will move, in the same line, the same idea, but now talking about culture. What do you think Brazil can teach about culture and what we can learn about culture? You know, very open. Let's start with Saul. Saul, what do you think? And in the case of Danilo, Danilo can answer talking about Angola, right? Saul, what do you think Brazil can teach or can learn about culture?
Tutor, like tutoring. It's like a
Cu-
tutoring.
culture,
Teacher.
cultura, culture.
Ah, culture. Okay.
Yep.
Uh, yes. Uh, I think we have some problems, like we said before. But Brazil have two good examples. For me, uh, the access in Brazil, the access of students for school, I think in Brazil is very democratic.
Hmm.
The access, not quality.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
for example, here in my neighborhood, I have a state school, escola estadual, my
Okay.
neighborhood. My neighborhood, the other neighborhood near my neighborhood have another state school. Then I think we have a capilaridade, né? I don't know how to say in English, but we have a capilaridade of
Right.
access in the Brazil. I think free access, né? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we pay our taxes, we pay our impostos, but the access is free, and have a multiple a capilaridade grande, né? To have
Okay.
access. Capillarity, yes.
Popularity.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Capillarity.
No problem.
I think that is it.
I never heard this word, before. Like in English, capillarity. I don't think so.
Capillarity.
They used to use this word, but it's nice. I use in Portuguese a lot.
Very good. Uh, then I think that is it. I think that this condition, that this example can be replied in the other countries because I think some countries don't have this condition of democratic access for everyone, every children. I think some countries are particular. The education is particular. or access, or public access is more restrict. I don't know. I think in this part, Brazil have a good example, né? Despite the
Yeah.
quality of our education, I think in subject access we have a good example. I think that is it.
Yeah, very, very nice. Actually, you are saying about public school, and I remember, uh, I heard it a lot in all Brazil, all the countries that I lived, all the states that I lived, about in the past, the public school used to be good, right? Was good. Like a lot of our politicians, they came from the liceu, right? In each state we had the liceu and a public school, and they used to study there, and with a good quality of education actually. But something happened in the Brazil history that masked the public school, because in the past used to be good because we have a lot of very good people, smart people, intelligent people, in the Brazilian history that actually came from the public school, not the private school. People that the politicians, a lot of, at least, for example, in Goiás, Goiânia, that's my state, where I'm born, and a lot of politicians came from the public school. Something, happened to match this part. Ricardo, how about you? What do you think we can teach or can learn about culture?
Uh, I believe that uh, we are talking about Brazil, and yeah, it's necessary uh, check or understand how the best practice to become prepared, ready for the future. But unfortunately, in Brazil, I need urgently uh, correct the road about the present. So
Yep.
unfortunately, I don't know what happened. Brazil receive a lot of opportunities, and I don't know. It's hard to understand certain circumstances. And Brazil used to have a lot of discuss about the method. Oh, right or left. And in my opinion, the best option is check each single situation, analyze, and after that you could choose a kind of administration. So in certain circumstances, the left side have the best options, in the another, the right. Nowadays, the world is so dynamic. So in this case, it's hard to choose just one. Think about your house, for example. Sometimes, for example, I want to eat, I don't know, beans. Some people have abilities and the know how to cook beans. So in this case, choose for make the plate yourself. So another people think a different way. For example, pizza. Pizza is hard, is more expensive, for example, prepare my own pizza. So in this case, I prefer buy for them. So Brazil doesn't matter, right, left, middle.
Yeah, I agree.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of discussions, and the target is forget a little bit or a lot, and uh, there are another thing that the plans is just for the 4 years. And for
Yeah.
example, sometimes I watch some news about the China, for example. Oh, the guys, the government, the people planning for 50 years in the future. So is insane in Brazil.
Long term,
Because
yeah,
yeah,
plan, right?
exactly. I hope that some the politicians, uh, I don't know, think together and I don't know, prepare a plan for 10 years. 10 years is a very
Yeah,
good target to, for example, receive results. So I think that Brazilian, um, I don't know. I think that Brazilian is don't notice the really advantages, to be honest, and they don't uh, take advantage from each other. So I don't know. The people just create rules, but the Brazilians don't respect the rules, and the guys create another rules to try to avoid the respect the rules, and
yeah.
suddenly and that's insane. So in the sometimes, for example, a lot of times, I don't know if you agree with me, but a lot of times the victim became the wrong part of the story. For example, you
I
walk on
agree.
the streets and suddenly you answer the phone, and the first question is, "Wow, you are still. What happened?" And the when you make this question is totally wrong in my opinion, because I have to accept the real conditions. Yeah, I understand. uh,
Mhm.
But for the other hand, it's not a crime to answer the phone at the streets. So in this case, Brazil is totally wrong about a lot of things. And for example, you think about it, in the war between Russia and Ukraine, the 3 years, according to the reporters, because I don't know what really happened uh, on the
Mhm.
battlefield, but the official numbers is 33,000 people died on this war in three
Mhm.
years. Brazil, around 40,000 people dying by year. So in this
Yeah,
case, in my opinion, the security is the
man,
worst problem
this
from
is
Brazil.
crazy. This is really crazy because our numbers of death in Brazil, it's insane, insane. It can be compared to the wars around the world, right? Like these something, and
Yeah,
I think the worst stuff is that we've been naturalized that, like it's normal, like oh, the people dying a lot, and we are kind of living, um, became normal, right? So sometimes I think I totally agree with you because sometimes we kind of do not think about how problematic and how terrible we are living, the situation we are living. Crazy, crazy. Thanks for sharing, Prabhu.
thank you.
And let me see. Oh man, I actually I have a lot of things to say about what you said. But okay, man, you said the left and right side and so on, the middle, and I totally agree with you. Because sometimes when I read, I pay attention, I think the low quality of the social discussion is terrible. The low quality of the politicians are terrible in the both sides, you know. In terms of study, technical, studying Brazilian history, trying to understand the framework, the the situation that we can solve, but thinking about points, we don't have these people. On both sides, it's terrible, it's terrible. I'm getting very frustrated with it because because when I'm reading the discussion, the politician discussion about Brazil being something about education, man, it's terrible. They don't know what they have done or what they are doing or will do. It's terrible. And I mean, here we have this kind of culture. We do not pay attention. We do not care about numbers. We do not care about, man, if you go to do something, we need to study. Anything, like we need to study. Just the way we are doing right now, studying to speak in English, right? So if you go to do, if you're gonna do something about education, about the health, about anything in Brazil, we need to study, right? Like if you do not study, you don't know how to. You're gonna only repeat the same problem and replicate the same problem, and this is pretty much what you have done, replicating problem. But that's it. That's the optimist Brazil. Let's keep optimist, right? Danilo, your turn, man. What you think your country can teach about culture? Okay, learn you choose.
Uh,
You muted.
uh, I think we have many things to share with Brazil relate to culture. Um, I think when you see culture, you see language, you see habits, you see foods. When I'm talking about food, I'm talking about gastronomy,
Yeah,
and you know we have this. We are a friendly country. We speak the same language, and we have many things in common. You know, beside the language, we share quite the same culture. The same weather. We are a tropical country, and Brazil is also a tropical country. Uh, and I think we have the same problem. The problem of education in Brazil is the same in Angola. We have many people here who are out of the school, and the minority of people are studying, but the majority of children are out of the school, and you should do more about it. To overcome this situation. I think we should do more. We should sit
yeah,
together. You should analyze what is wrong, what is good, to improve day by day. Because, uh, you know, when you're dealing with the kids, you are dealing with the future. And if you don't protect the kids today, you know your generation is gonna disappear tomorrow.
yeah,
So for us, it's important, to create conditions to put all these kids in a school. They all the students, all the kids, they have to have access to the school, to material. They have all these guys have to learn. You know, they have to be part of society because when you don't put these children at school, you take them out of society. It's important for them to learn. You know, um, it's important for them to have access to the school. They have to go to the school. They have to eat. This is the basic. When you take the kids to school, when they are there, they don't they it's not important only to learn. You have to follow them.
you have to give the basics, because uh, when they are studying, they feel the necessity to eat also. And some families, you know, take the childrens and, put the children without the needs, without the basic, they don't have the support.
Uh,
They don't have the support, and
yeah.
for me, this is one thing that we have to solve, um, before talking about the problem that we have, the necessity to improve the education system with the AI, with technology. you
Hmm.
know I think private schools, public schools, I think, all the students must to be at school. It's important for them to learn. If you succeed, the first step is to take all the schools to school, is to send all the students to school. We are going to the next step. The next step is, we are going to talk about the necessity to improve the education system. But the first step is to send everybody to school. If we do this, I think we are going in the right path. I think Brazil has the same problem. Um, Apart culture, apart language, I think the problem is there, and we all have to do things. We all have to support each other, in order to share the best strategies to improve. Not only in Angola but also in Brazil. And this is my point of view.
You, then you said that the majority of the kids are out of school. Majority.
Yes.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. And here, you said, I'm thinking here in Brazil, we have other problem that is, we're talking about education in general, but actually you need to think because the education in São Paulo is different from education in Ceará, from education in Goiás, or education in Manaus, Amazonas. So we have a lot of, very large country that we need to consider when, and in each state we have a lot of inequality in terms of a lot of stuff. And to solve, each problem it's hard because São Paulo, for example, have has a bad education, in Brazil in general. And I've seen it because I've, lived in a lot of states in Brazil, and I noticed that the best job the people from São Paulo can take and can have, they, can work on it, and they have done it, like working in the best job, in the world. So I'm saying. Okay, guys, thanks for sharing. We have 2 minutes, around 2 minutes. And I will ask Saul. So what do you think is the main problem? Imagine that you have the power to change something in Brazil, and you need to choose the main problem to solve in Brazil. What do you think? What's the main problem? Like, how I would solve, because it's something that you can guess how to solve, right? Like the problem. For example, I have guess about how to solve the education, but very general. But I have an idea, simple things to solve. It's not solve. Solve I think it's a hard word, but can improve a lot. Improve little things that can improve a lot. Uh, do you have it in Brazil? Thinking about Brazil.
Yes, I think about education is a good
Yeah.
discussion. It's difficult to move for a other discussion. I think education in Brazil needs be more
I agree.
discuss, have more discussion. For example, I think in Brazil we have a big problem because we don't have a link between the university and their solutions and our industry. You know,
Perfect.
like
Very good.
China, China have a strong link between
A synergy,
the
synergy
university,
between both
yes,
sides. Perfect.
between universities and the industry. For example, I'm from Belo Horizonte. Here in Minas Gerais, we have UFMG, a Federal of Minas Gerais. UFMG is champion in the patents in Brazil. Patents, you know, you create a knowledge and you
Yeah.
need a create a patents to protect and have a property.
Yeah, intellectual protection.
Yes, o FMG is champion in Brazil, but this knowledge is stuck in the university. Don't have a link between university and the industry to produce
Wow.
it is to produce the products, new services. You know,
Yeah.
all the knowledge uh, produced in universities is stuck there. I think we need to yeah, I think it's don't need big investments. It's a question about decision, a question about administration.
Yeah.
Build a link between university and the industry to for the industry absorb this knowledge from the university and transformation in products, services to our society. You know, I think we have this problem in Brazil, and we need to solve this more rapidly as possible. I think that is it.
Perfect. I agree. I agree. You know, yeah, I agree. Sometimes I think it happened because we do not have this. How can I say? Sometimes I feel that the entrepreneurs in Brazil, you know, from industry and so on, we are bad capitalists. Like when I say bad capitalists, I'm saying we do not like to take risk in Brazil. The entrepreneurs do not like to take risk in Brazil, as they sometimes they can do in other countries. And I'm saying that because you know nowadays I'm working in creating a system, AI system to recognize some geology features. And this project in my at my university came from a French investment, right? Not French, but a French company, right? Here in this university. So this is something pretty much that a Brazilian can do, but they do not invest. They do not like to take risk. But some companies, you know, in other countries, they like to do, and they see that can be, you know, good, and they can take advantage of it. So this is sad because, you know, of course, I would like to work here for a Brazilian, you know, proposition, for Brazilian innovation. But where's that guy to, you know, to provide this money to the university? You know, I think a lot about it. Brazilian capitalists, the industry of Brazil, they do not like to take risks. You know, they are very conservative, I think. Yeah, conservative. Okay, man. Uh, 6 minutes. Let me. Ricardo, what do you think? Choose a main point. Do you think Brazil have, and do you have any proposition about how to solve? You can choose education, healthy. I don't know anything. Football, soccer.
Yeah, I understand that a lot of times we just complain and don't have a real good suggestion. In my opinion, well, I'm not an expert, and I'm not expert certainly, but it's not so complex. Yeah, you could use artificial intelligence, you could use a lot of different strategies, but the thing is just about this good sense. Well, put the kids at a school, good teachers, receive enough salary because there is another problem. Teachers graduation nowadays, the people don't want to be a teacher because don't receive well and don't have respect. The people used to say that a teacher on a Japan is the honor is similar to the imperator. And so in this case, I believe that there are two sides. Invest more money. Yeah, I'm not sure. Brazil certainly is better if you invest more money, but I believe that it's possible to make a good work with the quantity of money currently. So I believe that
I agree.
you could improve
The quality of the investment, right? Like the quality of the idea in terms of,
yeah, exactly.
balance it, to correct.
Yeah. So in this case, I believe that Brazil needs to. Sometimes it's weird, because any worker in Brazil receives enough salary, any not, but just rarely you could go do a job in any kind of company and receive enough money to pay your bills and have a reasonable life. So, but I need to respect more in the, I don't know, improve the quality of environment and other stuffs for teachers. That's it.
Wow, very nice, very nice. Yeah, I agree with you. I think sometimes you need to, and I think the basic study sometimes your education, and we are education in different level, right? Like the basic education, of course, provide a good education for the kids and teenagers, but also the education for the people they are planning Brazil, thinking Brazil. And when I say education, man, data, analyze data, analyze framework, and analyze growth, right? Like to take and to think about the problem, not only, oh, I will do this or that, put more money or reduce money or do this or do that. And certainly you are very right on it, right? And we do not have plan, for example, for education, a long-term plan for education. What's the long plan in terms of education Brazil do not have in terms of healthy? Man, just to finish, I will share with you experience these days. I was in I don't know, healthy place in Brazil. I don't know how can I say postinho SUS, né? I was using our system, of course, and I think it's a very good system. But some basic stuff, for example, they hadn't, for example, an education there. But you need to go there to know that they do not have education. It's something that, a simple app can solve, for example. Simple app. You do not need to go there to, think, oh, they have or not this education. I can check here. Man, it's so simple to create an app, but the people do not study to create an app. Simple. In the short time that I was there, I started to think of some solutions like, and they do not have this system. And at the same time, a lot of people with cell phone, checking TikTok and Instagram. And I started to think, man, if you create that system that the people can feed, for example, if you go there, if you do not have the medication, you can, create this information like in this place do not have this medication or this doctor they are not working or they have doing this or do that in a protocol for information that you can use the population can use simple but the people do not do that. And it's something that, as Saul said, the university could do, you know, use the TI, infrastructure to create, man, let's have a plan of master degree to solve this problem, create a very huge app to solve this problem. But Brazil, I don't know what happened, but guys, that's it. Let's keep optimism about Brazil, right? Thanks a lot, Saulo. Thanks a lot to Ricardo. Thanks a lot, Danilo, for this conversation.
Thank you,
It
guys.
was really awesome. And see you in the next week.